Hello everybody, and welcome back to Beyond the Cinema. My name is Tyler.
I am Spencer.
And I am Ethan.
And the blessed day has come. So just this past Monday, we got to see Tenet. Yeah. Christopher Nolan's super crazy spy time movie. Probably his most complex movie to the date. Oh. Wow, there is a lot there. So I just wanted to start off because we made sure to see this in IMAX, like first opportunity possible. And oh my freaking goodness, that movie is gorgeous. And like most of it's shot in IMAX. I'd say probably not as much as Dunkirk, but like most of this movie is shot just magnificently. I don't want to like get into too much about like certain visuals and things like that, but the way they filmed this movie, just the complete polish and look to it, it is one of the best looking Christopher Nolan movies to the date. If you can see this in IMAX, if that is a possibility wherever you're at, make that a priority because it is so worth seeing in IMAX. And once it's out of theaters, that experience is gone.
I mean, I can't really add on much to what Tyler said. Yeah, it was beautiful.
Mwah.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Okay. The first third of the movie is exposition, right? And they actually set up the premise like pretty quickly. I'd say quicker than like Interstellar or Inception. This movie involves a lot of people with very heavy accents explaining very complex ideas over the sound of very loud music.
All right. Time inversion became very much in the future. It is going to be used for a war against humanity.
Okay, and that's what you're dealing with. Could you pick up on what he was saying there? No, neither could we. And we thought it might be IMAX, but apparently this is a review that's coming out kind of across the board. So, the sound mixing in this movie, especially in that first act, is just... I hate to use this word because I liked this movie, but it's atrocious.
I even think it's just the audio mixing with the dialogue because the sound effects and the music
is
are
excellent.
Stellar.
Yeah.
Like, so good.
Yeah, no.
But boy, oh boy, are they just like... It's like everyone is talking like Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. So just imagine, like, everyone just has a Bane mask slapped on their face as the entire symphony orchestra is blasting music and they're just trying to shout over the top of it.
The movie was making fun of me when the main character gave the line, "Try to keep up." I'm like, hey, I'm trying. Speaking of characters in this movie, I actually wanted to mention the acting in this film. I thought it was exceptionally well.
True.
Because, like Ethan said, during the first third of the movie, we get quite a bit of exposition. And I was impressed with how well these characters seemed to know what they were talking about perfectly. And they acted like they knew exactly what they were talking about, even when I was getting confused at some parts.
Yeah, they definitely acted like they knew what they're talking about. Because if you watch them in reviews, John David Washington's like, I'm not even 100% sure I know what Tenet's about. And he's like, I'm the protagonist.
Yeah. So, but I just wanted to give kudos to them. Like, great actors and actresses were in this film. You know, Christopher Nolan did it again, put together a great cast. So
yeah, and shockingly, it's very absent of his usual suspects.
Yeah, the roster.
It's very absent of those. Other than Michael Caine, it's a very original cast for a Christopher Nolan movie, which is awesome. Like, really, Patton Bat gets some great time to shine.
Oh yeah.
John David Washington is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's really solid cast.
Yes.
Yeah. I adore this movie, and I could talk for super long about how much I love it, but I'm very nitpicky about really stupid stuff. And I just want to talk for a second about Kenneth Branagh, who plays this Russian bad guy dude in this movie. Can we talk about how gross that beard is? Like, I don't know if it's on purpose because he's meant to be a pretty unpleasant dude, but like, you know how like you've got like the standard like Robert Downey Jr., the kind of the Iron Man,
yeah.
Like you got beard all over, but there's like some little clean spots between your lips and stuff like that. Like, it looks real fresh and nice. This dude literally looked like he covered his face with glue and then just dived in a sandbar. And it was so distracting when you'd have a really tight shot of Kenneth Branagh, and he's trying to, like, again, deliver exposition, and all I can think of is how does he eat food with that beard? So, yeah, the beard was weird, and I don't know if that's, like, just how Russian people grow beards. No offense if that's how all Russian people grow beards, and I'm being insensitive to Russian beard community.
Good on you, Russians. Way to go.
But that beard was so distracting.
But there's a ton of practical effects, and I'm a sucker for practical effects as the Jurassic Park fan in the group. And so I major props for that. That plane crash sequence in it is just stellar. Like, it is so good. And then even how they did all of the reverse sequences and the inverted sequences, I'm 1,000% sure that was practical. And it was done just really incredibly
So I actually watched some behind the scenes in an interview about that. So the way Christopher Nolan achieved, like, that airport sequence, for example, like the fight between Anyways, so one dude's duking it out. John David Washington is going forwards in time, and then he's fighting a guy who's inverted, moving backwards in time. And the way that they shot that is Christopher Nolan had them learn both forms of choreography. One where it's the fight moving forwards, one where it's the fight moving backwards. They learned both fights, filmed it both ways with both sets of choreography, and then used that footage both backwards and forwards spliced together to create just the most incredibly fluid backwards forwards person fight. I mean, he claims that, like, this movie has less green screen and CG than your standard rom-com, so I'm pretty sure Click has more visual effects there.
Hey, no click bashing, man.
Something that Tyler mentioned earlier on. He mentioned that this is definitely probably Christopher Nolan's most complex movie idea that he's had. And I am here to witness that is absolutely true. Because I walked out of that theater with a real bad headache. And Ethan coined the term, it's like headache, the movie.
You walk out and you're paying for that experience.
Because it's already trippy as is, and then it's trippy and complicated. So you watch a backwards thing happen and it's just like, ah!
You can tell it's a good movie. I'm just too stupid to understand it.
Yeah, yeah, that's basically what I'm saying.
This is probably not Christopher Nolan's masterpiece.
Yeah.
But the Christopher Nolan movies are kind of like pizza. Even when they're not great, they're still pretty darn good.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think that this is up there as one of his better movies. I definitely think it's better than Interstellar. I definitely think it's better than The Prestige. But, like, it is missing some of the heart that some of his other movies do, that emotional drive that, like, Inception had.
Right.
Conceptually, it's really consistent the whole way through. Like, it's brilliantly acted, incredibly directed. Like, it really is Christopher Nolan's most ambitious project, and, like, you can really tell there's that passion behind it. But can I add a new one? There's skip it, stream it, see it in IMAX.
Yeah.
That one.
That's the golden tier. And so you can tell that the passion's there. It's really airtight until Ryan George gets to it. In which case the whole thing will fall apart like it's made of Legos. But it's real good. So yeah, see it.
Yep,
with subtitles.
With subtitles.
Yeah, with subtitles.
That one's in the middle between see it and see it in IMAX and see it with subtitles
in IMAX.
So, these are a lot of options. So I guess I would put my vote between see it in IMAX and see it in subtitles. Somewhere in there. Just see it.
So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, go follow us on Instagram at 60 Second Films, and thank you so much for going with us beyond the cinema.
Yay!
All right. All right.